Your wife is trying to kill you. Homeless boy's warning saves billionaire's life. The biting wind whipped through the concrete canyons of New York City, sending shivers down the spine of young Billy, a boy who knew the city's harsh realities all too well. Homeless and alone, he navigated the labyrinthine streets with a practiced ease, his senses attuned to the rhythm of the urban jungle. He was a master of survival, a scavenger of discarded treasures, a silent observer of the human drama unfolding around him. Billy, despite his tender age of 12, possessed a wisdom that belied his years. His eyes, though often filled with a haunting sadness, held a spark of resilience, a glimmer of hope that refused to be extinguished. He had learned to read the city like an open book, deciphering its subtle cues, its hidden corners, its unspoken language. He knew where to find shelter from the rain, where to scavenge for scraps of food, where to find a moment of solace amidst the cacophony of city life. He wasn't your typical street urchin, begging for handouts with outstretched hands and pleading eyes. Billy possessed a quiet dignity, a self-reliance that stemmed from years of fending for himself. His clothes, though patched and faded, were always meticulously clean, his unruly brown hair neatly combed. He carried himself with a certain grace, a subtle defiance against the harsh realities of his life. Billy had a secret, a hidden talent that he nurtured amidst the chaos. He loved to read. He would scour discarded newspapers and magazines, devouring every word, every story, every glimpse into a world beyond his own. He would spend hours in the public library, immersing himself in the pages of books, escaping the harsh realities of his life and entering worlds of imagination and adventure. He dreamt of a better life, a life where he could pursue his love for learning, where he could explore the world beyond the concrete jungle, where he could make a difference. He clung to these dreams, his imagination a lifeline in the face of adversity. One frigid December evening, as Billy huddled beneath a threadbare blanket near a posh restaurant, seeking respite from the biting wind, he witnessed a scene that would forever alter the course of his life. A sleek limousine pulled up to the curb, its polished exterior gleaming under the streetlights. A distinguished gentleman, impeccably dressed and exuding an aura of wealth and power, emerged from the car. Billy watched as the man, Mr. Harrington, a renowned billionaire and philanthropist, entered the restaurant, his every move radiating an air of authority and importance. He was a man who seemingly had it all, a man who lived a life of privilege and luxury, a world away from Billy's reality of poverty and hardship. As Mr. Harrington disappeared into the warm glow of the restaurant, a woman emerged from the shadows, her face obscured by the darkness, her movements furtive and suspicious. Billy, his senses honed by years of living on the streets, observed her with a growing sense of unease. He watched as she approached the limousine, her hand reaching into her purse, retrieving a small vial filled with an unknown liquid. She glanced around nervously, ensuring no one was watching, then quickly slipped the vial into Mr. Harrington's coat pocket, her expression contorted in a mask of hatred and vengeance. Billy, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and adrenaline, realized the gravity of the situation. This woman, who he later learned was Mr. Harrington's wife, had just attempted to poison her husband. He knew he had to act to warn Mr. Harrington to prevent a tragedy. But how could a homeless boy, a mere shadow in the eyes of society, possibly get the attention of a powerful billionaire? How could he convince him of the danger lurking within his own home? Billy, driven by a sense of compassion and a deep-seated belief in the inherent goodness of humanity, decided to take a chance. He gathered his courage, his thin frame trembling with a mixture of fear and determination, and darted into the restaurant, his ragged clothes and unkempt appearance drawing curious stares from the well-heeled patrons. He approached Mr. Harrington's table, his heart pounding in his chest, his voice a mere whisper amidst the clinking of glasses and the murmur of conversations. "Sir," he stammered, his eyes pleading for understanding, "please don't eat the food. Your wife put poison in it." Mr. Harrington, taken aback by the boy's sudden intrusion, regarded him with a mixture of skepticism and amusement. He chuckled, dismissing Billy's words as the ramblings of a delusional child, a figment of his imagination. "Get out of here, you filthy beggar," he barked, his voice laced with disdain. His eyes filled with contempt for the boy who dared to interrupt his evening. But Billy persisted, his eyes filled with conviction, his voice gaining strength with each word. "Please, sir, I'm telling the truth. I saw her do it. I saw her put the vial in your pocket." Mr. Harrington's initial amusement faded, replaced by a flicker of doubt. He instinctively reached into his coat pocket, his fingers brushing against the small vial. He pulled it out, his eyes widening in surprise, his mind reeling from the realization that this homeless boy, this stranger, might be telling the truth. He noticed the woman's absence from the restaurant, her empty chair a stark reminder of her earlier presence. He recalled her unusual behavior, her forced smile, her hurried departure. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, his initial disbelief giving way to a growing sense of dread. Intrigued by Billy's persistence and the woman's suspicious behavior, Mr. Harrington decided to take a chance. He discreetly excused himself from the table, his curiosity piqued, his instincts telling him that there was more to this story than met the eye. He followed Billy out of the restaurant, leaving behind the world of luxury and privilege, venturing into the shadows of the city, guided by a homeless boy who had dared to speak truth to power. Billy led him to a secluded alleyway, his small frame navigating the maze of concrete and steel with an uncanny familiarity. He pointed to a discarded vial lying on the ground, its contents shimmering under the dim light. Mr. Harrington recognized it as the same vial he had seen in his wife's hand, the same vial that now rested in his own pocket. The truth came crashing down on him like a ton of bricks. His wife, the woman he had loved and trusted, the woman who shared his life and his fortune, had intended to poison him. His life had been spared only thanks to the intervention of a homeless boy, a stranger who had shown him more kindness and compassion than his own wife. Mr. Harrington stood in stunned silence, the weight of the revelation pressing down on him like a physical burden. He couldn't believe that his wife, the woman he had shared his life with for so many years, could betray him in such a way. His mind reeled, his emotions a whirlwind of disbelief, anger, and a profound sense of betrayal. He looked at Billy, his eyes filled with a mixture of gratitude and shame. This young boy, who had nothing, who lived on the fringes of society, had just saved his life. He had risked his own safety to warn a stranger, a man who had everything, a man who had dismissed him as a mere beggar. "Thank you," Mr. Harrington whispered, his voice hoarse with emotion. "You saved my life." Billy, his heart still pounding from the adrenaline, simply nodded, his eyes filled with a quiet satisfaction. He had done the right thing despite the fear, despite the potential consequences. He had listened to his conscience, his innate sense of compassion guiding his actions. Mr. Harrington, overwhelmed with gratitude and remorse, vowed to repay Billy's kindness. He promised to help him get off the streets, to provide him with a better life, a life filled with opportunities and possibilities. "I won't forget this," Mr. Harrington said, his voice firm and resolute. "You have my word." From that day on, Mr. Harrington kept his promise. He took Billy under his wing, providing him with a warm home, a good education, and a chance to rebuild his life. He enrolled him in a prestigious private school, where Billy excelled in his studies, his natural intelligence and thirst for knowledge shining through. Billy, in turn, thrived under Mr. Harrington's care. He embraced the opportunities presented to him, his gratitude for Mr. Harrington's kindness fueling his determination to succeed. He excelled in his studies, displaying a natural aptitude for business and finance, his mind absorbing knowledge like a sponge. Years passed, and Billy grew into a successful young man. He graduated from college with honors, his intelligence and hard work earning him a coveted position at Mr. Harrington's company. He quickly rose through the ranks, his loyalty and dedication earning him Mr. Harrington's trust and respect. One day, while reviewing the company's financial records, Billy stumbled upon a series of suspicious transactions. The transactions involved large sums of money being transferred to offshore accounts, raising red flags in Billy's mind. He delved deeper, his curiosity piqued, his instincts telling him that something was amiss. His investigation led him to a shocking discovery. The transactions were linked to Mr. Harrington's wife, the same woman who had tried to poison him years ago. She was embezzling money from the company, siphoning funds into secret accounts, her greed and deceit knowing no bounds. Billy was torn between his loyalty to Mr. Harrington and his duty to expose the truth. He knew that revealing his wife's treachery would devastate Mr. Harrington, reopening old wounds and shattering his trust in the woman he had once loved. But he also knew that he couldn't allow her to continue her crimes, to betray the man who had given him a second chance at life. Billy, after much deliberation and sleepless nights, decided to confront Mr. Harrington with his findings. He knew it would be a difficult conversation, a painful revelation that could potentially shatter the trust and affection they had built over the years. But he also knew that Mr. Harrington deserved to know the truth, to be aware of the betrayal that was happening right under his nose. He gathered all the evidence he had collected, meticulously documenting the suspicious transactions, tracing the flow of money, and uncovering the web of deceit that Mrs. Harrington had woven. He prepared himself for the confrontation, rehearsing his words, steeling his resolve to deliver the news with compassion and clarity. He requested a private meeting with Mr. Harrington, his voice trembling slightly as he made the request. Mr. Harrington, sensing the gravity of the situation, agreed, his brow furrowed with concern. They met in Mr. Harrington's private office, the opulent surroundings a stark contrast to the gravity of the impending conversation. Billy, his hands shaking slightly, presented the evidence to Mr. Harrington, explaining his findings in a clear and concise manner. He detailed the suspicious transactions, the offshore accounts, the trail of deceit that led directly to Mrs. Harrington. Mr. Harrington listened in stunned silence, his face paling as the realization dawned on him. He couldn't believe that his wife, the woman he had loved and trusted for so many years, could betray him in such a way. He felt a wave of nausea wash over him, his heart sinking with a mixture of anger, sadness, and betrayal. He looked at Billy, his eyes filled with a mixture of pain and gratitude. "How could she?" he whispered, his voice hoarse with emotion. "How could she do this to me?" Billy, seeing Mr. Harrington's pain, reached out and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I'm so sorry, sir," he said, his voice filled with empathy. "I know this is difficult to hear, but I couldn't let her continue to deceive you." Mr. Harrington nodded, his eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Billy," he said, his voice trembling. "You've done the right thing." Billy, his heart aching for Mr. Harrington, assured him that he would do everything in his power to help him. He promised to expose his wife's crimes and clear his name to ensure that justice was served. With Billy's help, Mr. Harrington gathered enough evidence to file for divorce and press charges against his wife. The scandal rocked the business world, the news of Mrs. Harrington's betrayal spreading like wildfire. Mr. Harrington's reputation was severely tarnished, his name dragged through the mud by the media frenzy. Despite the challenges, Mr. Harrington remained determined to rebuild his life. He focused on his business, his passion for culinary excellence reignited, his determination to overcome adversity stronger than ever. He also leaned on Billy, his relationship with his protégé deepening, their bond forged in the fires of betrayal and loyalty. Billy, on the other hand, used his newfound wealth and influence to help others. He established a foundation to help homeless children, providing them with shelter, education, and opportunities for employment. He remembered his own struggles on the streets, his heart filled with compassion for those who shared his past. He poured his energy and resources into his foundation, creating programs that addressed the root causes of homelessness, providing education and job training, and offering a helping hand to those who had been marginalized and forgotten. He became a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience and compassion, his story inspiring countless others to overcome adversity and make a difference in the world. Years passed, and Mr. Harrington, with Billy's unwavering support, rebuilt his company and his reputation. He emerged from the ashes of the scandal stronger and wiser, his focus on integrity and ethical business practices unwavering. He had learned a valuable lesson about trust and betrayal, his faith in humanity restored by Billy's loyalty and compassion. Billy, meanwhile, had become a renowned philanthropist, his foundation helping countless children escape poverty and achieve their dreams. He was living a life of purpose and fulfillment, his childhood struggles a distant memory, replaced by the satisfaction of making a tangible difference in the world. One day, while attending a charity gala hosted by his foundation, Billy encountered a familiar face from his past. It was Sarah, a young woman he had met and befriended while working at Mr. Harrington's company. Sarah, who had been a victim of domestic violence, had confided in Billy, seeking his help to escape her abusive relationship. Billy, remembering his own experiences of vulnerability and hardship, had offered Sarah his support, helping her to find a safe haven and rebuild her life. They had developed a strong bond, their shared experiences and compassionate natures creating a deep connection. However, their busy schedules and demanding careers had kept them apart in recent years, their paths diverging as they pursued their individual passions. But now, fate had brought them together again, their reunion sparking a renewed sense of connection and possibility. Billy was overjoyed to see Sarah again, his heart filled with warmth and affection. They reminisced about their shared past, their laughter filling the room, their connection as strong as ever. They realized that their bond had endured the test of time, their mutual respect and admiration undiminished. Sarah, who had blossomed into a confident and successful woman, had also dedicated her life to helping others. She had become a social worker, advocating for victims of domestic violence, providing them with support and resources to escape their abusive situations. Billy and Sarah, their paths aligned once again, found themselves drawn to each other, their shared passion for social justice and their deep connection creating a spark that ignited a new chapter in their lives. Billy and Sarah's rekindled friendship quickly blossomed into a romantic relationship. They found solace in each other's company, their shared experiences and compassionate natures creating a deep understanding and mutual respect. They spent hours discussing their work, their dreams for the future, their shared desire to make a positive impact on the world. Mr. Harrington, who had always considered Billy as a son, was thrilled to see him find happiness with Sarah. He had witnessed their initial connection, their shared compassion and dedication to helping others. He knew that Sarah was a kind and compassionate woman who would love and support Billy unconditionally. As their relationship grew stronger, Billy and Sarah decided to get married. They planned a beautiful wedding, a celebration of their love and commitment to each other, surrounded by their loved ones. It was a joyous occasion, a testament to the power of second chances and the enduring strength of the human spirit. After their wedding, Billy and Sarah settled down in a cozy home in the suburbs, creating a sanctuary of love and support. They continued to work tirelessly for their respective foundations, their shared passion for social justice fueling their dedication to making a difference in the world. Their love story was an inspiration to many, a testament to the power of human connection to heal and transform lives. They were a beacon of hope, their love radiating outwards, touching the lives of those they helped and inspiring others to believe in the possibility of a brighter future. One evening, while attending a charity event hosted by their foundation, Billy and Sarah received a call that would shatter their peaceful existence. Mr. Harrington's assistant, his voice trembling with emotion, informed them that Mr. Harrington had been rushed to the hospital after suffering a massive heart attack. Billy and Sarah, their hearts pounding with worry, rushed to the hospital, their minds filled with images of the man who had become a father figure to Billy, a mentor and friend to both of them. They arrived at the hospital, the sterile environment and hushed whispers amplifying their anxiety. They found Mr. Harrington in the intensive care unit, his condition critical, his life hanging in the balance. The doctors informed them that his heart had been severely damaged, his chances of survival slim. Billy and Sarah were devastated by the news, their world suddenly tilting on its axis. Billy, his eyes filled with tears, refused to give up hope. He remembered the night he had saved Mr. Harrington's life, the bond they had forged, the love and gratitude that had transformed his life. He couldn't imagine a world without Mr. Harrington, the man who had given him a second chance, the man who had become his family. He stayed by Mr. Harrington's bedside for days, his hand clasped tightly in Mr. Harrington's frail grip, his voice a constant source of comfort and reassurance. He shared stories of their friendship, reminiscing about the challenges they had overcome, the triumphs they had celebrated, the bond that had grown stronger with each passing year. Sarah, her heart aching for both Billy and Mr. Harrington, offered her unwavering support. She sat beside Billy, her presence a source of comfort, her love a beacon of hope in the sterile environment of the hospital room. She shared her own memories of Mr. Harrington, his kindness, his generosity, his unwavering belief in Billy's potential. Together, they kept vigil, their love and devotion a testament to the enduring power of human connection. They prayed for a miracle, their hopes intertwined with the rhythmic beeping of the machines that kept Mr. Harrington alive. Mr. Harrington, despite his weakened condition, was aware of Billy and Sarah's presence, their love and concern a comforting balm in his time of need. He knew that he had been blessed to have them in his life, their loyalty and compassion a testament to the goodness that still existed in the world. He had lived a life of privilege and success, but it was the connections he had forged, the love he had shared, that truly mattered. He had learned that wealth and power were fleeting, but the bonds of friendship and family were enduring. As the days turned into weeks, Mr. Harrington's condition gradually improved. His heart, though weakened, began to regain its strength, his body slowly responding to the medical interventions. The doctors, initially pessimistic, were cautiously optimistic, their hopes rising with each passing day. Billy and Sarah were overjoyed by Mr. Harrington's recovery, their prayers answered, their faith in miracles renewed. They continued to support him throughout his rehabilitation, their presence a constant source of encouragement and motivation. Mr. Harrington, grateful for their unwavering support, vowed to make the most of his second chance at life. He had faced death and emerged with a renewed appreciation for the preciousness of life, the importance of cherishing every moment, the value of human connection. He decided to step back from the day-to-day operations of his company, delegating responsibilities to his trusted team, including Billy, who had proven himself to be a capable and compassionate leader. He wanted to focus on his health, his family, and his philanthropic endeavors. He spent more time with Billy and Sarah, sharing meals, attending concerts, and engaging in lively discussions about their shared passion for social justice. He became a mentor to young people in Billy's foundation, sharing his experiences and inspiring them to pursue their dreams. He also increased his philanthropic efforts, donating generously to causes that aligned with his values, supporting initiatives that promoted education, healthcare, and social justice. He wanted to leave a legacy of compassion and generosity to make a lasting impact on the world. With renewed purpose and determination, Billy embraced his role as a leader in both the business world and the philanthropic sector. He stepped down from his executive position at Mr. Harrington's company, his heart drawn to the work of his foundation, the desire to make a tangible difference in the lives of others burning brightly within him. He expanded the foundation's reach, establishing new programs and initiatives to help even more children in need. He worked tirelessly, traveling the world to raise awareness and secure funding for his cause. He became a voice for the voiceless, a champion for those who had been marginalized and forgotten. He also became a mentor to young people, sharing his story and inspiring them to overcome adversity and achieve their dreams. He taught them the importance of hard work, perseverance, and compassion, instilling in them the values that had guided his own journey. He organized workshops and seminars, bringing together experts in education, social work, and child development to share their knowledge and collaborate on innovative solutions to address the root causes of poverty and inequality. He believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty, empowering individuals to create a better future for themselves and their communities. He also partnered with government agencies and nonprofit organizations, leveraging their resources and expertise to maximize the impact of his foundation's work. He understood that collaboration was essential to achieving lasting change, that collective action could amplify their efforts and create a ripple effect of positive impact. Billy, once a homeless boy struggling to survive, had become a beacon of hope and inspiration to others. He had overcome adversity, achieved success, and found true happiness in helping others. His journey was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the transformative power of compassion, and the enduring strength of human connection. He reflected on his journey, the twists and turns that had led him to this point. He marveled at the resilience of the human spirit, his own included. He had faced challenges that would have broken many, yet he had emerged stronger, more determined, more compassionate. He recognized the pivotal role that Mr. Harrington had played in his life. He had not only rescued him from the streets, but had also nurtured his talents, guided his development, and instilled in him a belief in his own potential. He had been a father figure, a mentor, a friend, a confidant. He also acknowledged the importance of his own agency, his own choices, his own determination. He had not been a passive recipient of Mr. Harrington's kindness. He had actively shaped his own destiny, seizing opportunities, overcoming obstacles, and pursuing his dreams with unwavering passion. He reflected on the lessons he had learned, the values he had embraced. He had learned the importance of compassion, the power of empathy, the transformative potential of human connection. He had learned to appreciate the beauty in diversity, the strength in vulnerability, the resilience of the human spirit. He had also learned the importance of giving back, of using his privilege to advocate for others, to inspire hope, to create a more just and equitable world. He understood that his journey was not just about his own personal growth and fulfillment. It was about contributing to something larger than himself, about making a positive impact on the world. He thought of the boy he once was, the boy who huddled beneath a threadbare blanket, dreaming of a better life. He saw in that boy a spark of resilience, a glimmer of hope, a seed of potential. He realized that he had never truly lost that boy. He had simply grown, evolved, embraced his full potential. He was proud of the man he had become, the man who had found his voice, his purpose, his place in the world. He was a philanthropist, an advocate, a leader, a beacon of hope, and he was just getting started. Billy's story is a testament to the transformative power of human connection, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of second chances. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, that even the most unlikely encounters can lead to profound change. It is a story that celebrates the beauty of compassion, the power of gratitude, and the importance of giving back to the community. It reminds us that we all have the potential to make a difference in the world, regardless of our circumstances or our past. Billy's story is a call to action, an invitation to embrace our shared humanity, to extend a helping hand to those in need, and to believe in the possibility of a brighter future. It is a story that inspires us to dream big, to act with compassion, and to never give up on ourselves or on the world. It is a story that challenges us to look beyond the surface, to see the potential in every individual, to recognize the spark of hope that resides within even the most downtrodden souls. It reminds us that kindness and compassion can have a ripple effect, transforming not only the lives of those we touch, but also our own. Billy's story is a story of redemption, of finding purpose and meaning in the face of adversity. It is a story that reminds us that our past does not define us, that we have the power to shape our own destiny, to create a future filled with hope and possibility. It is a story that celebrates the enduring strength of the human spirit, the power of love and loyalty to overcome betrayal and hardship. It reminds us that even in the face of darkness, there is always light, that even in the midst of despair, there is always hope. Billy's story is a story of transformation, of a boy who rose from the ashes of homelessness to become a beacon of hope for others. It is a story that inspires us to believe in the power of human connection to heal and transform lives, to create a world where compassion and justice prevail.